Hello there, Emma. I'm just messaging to tell you that you should marry Gerald and not Tony.
Mimi, please. How many times have we already had the same conversation? The man that I've been dating this whole time is Tony, and he's the man I'm going to marry.
What are you talking about? I need to make sure that Gerald gets married before his brother. I've realized that when Tony brought you home with him that I had to do something to help Gerald find a wife quickly. So anyways, that's why you're going to be marrying Gerald instead. And I won't take no for an answer.
Mimi, you can say whatever you'd like, but it isn't going to change my mind about this. I'm going to marry Tony, and that's final. I mean, I don't even think I've spent more than an hour cumulatively with Gerald.
But I'm sure that you would come to love him if you just knew him a little better. I promise that he really is an amazing guy, and you wouldn't regret marrying him. Don't make me force this to happen. Don't forget that the two of you are married now. If you try and break this off or do anything to ruin the fact that you're engaged to Gerald, I will sue you into oblivion. Do you understand?
I seriously have no idea how to even respond to this, but please don't spout this crazy nonsense and then threaten me with legal action. Anyways, I have to go. Hey, Tony, I'm really sorry to bug you while you're away on your business trip. But it's just that your mom started talking to me about marrying your brother again.
You're kidding me. I thought that you talked to her about that.
In fact, apparently in her head she seems to think that Gerald and I are already engaged or something. There was one time she told me that if I broke off my engagement with him, that she would sue me.
Emma, I am so sorry that you're having to deal with all this right now. I wish my mom would stop all this nonsense.
I mean, I wonder how Gerald himself feels about all this. Probably doesn't like being put in this situation any more than I do. Feels like your mom would be the kind of person to push this, whether or not the both of us wanted it or not.
I think you're probably right about that. But actually, I talked to Gerald a little bit about this earlier.
Really? I didn't know you two were still talking. When was the last time that you even had a good chat with each other? If I remember correctly, you two haven't been the closest of people ever since Gerald quit his job at the big company and shut himself up in his room.
I know that it seems that way, but that's not what's really happening at all.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that the real reason why he quit his first job was because he was in the process of publishing his first book.
Oh, really? I had no idea that Gerald wrote anything.
Well, it's already a bestseller and has even been picked up by some streaming service to be turned into a show.
That's amazing. He must be so proud.
I would think so. But he's basically doing all of this online, so he hasn't had the need to go into the office or even leave his room, really. Besides, he's always more of an indoor person anyways. I think he's probably glad to have less reasons to leave the house now.
Oh, I see. So that's how things are.
But I think that he still hasn't told anyone that he's gone and published his book already. I think he's just worried that if Mom finds out, she will just use it to brag to everyone she knows about him and just never give him any peace or privacy. So that's why he's been pretending to be the antisocial shut-in this whole time. He's really just waiting for the right timing to come forward about this since he knows it's going to be a big deal. I think that Mom knows that you also work for a big company though. And so she wants you and Gerald to get married because she thinks he needs someone to take care of him.
So then, I think that I'm going to marry your brother and do everything for him on top of that?
Well, that's what my mom thinks, but Gerald doesn't want that at all.
Oh, well, as long as he understands that it isn't going to happen, that's good.
Right, So anyways, while we were talking, he explained all this to me and apologized for seeming to act so standoffish. But now the problem is how to move forward from here. In fact, Gerald was kind of hoping that you and I would be able to help him come out to the world as an author.
He wants our help with that. How so?
Well, the first thing I should let you know is that Gerald already has a fiancé.
Hold on a second, he does? I had no idea.
But yesterday, my mom was going on about how he needs to marry you again. Gerald mentioned something about already being engaged, however, and I guess my mom just assumed that he meant he was engaged to you. She thought that he was already in on her plan and was moving forward with it. You know that my mom probably wouldn't even listen to anything that proved the contrary.
Wow, your mom just really lives in her own world sometimes, doesn't she?
She has always been like this though, ever since we were little. Our mom has always tried to control every little thing we did and manage our lives.
You've told me a little bit about that before, but I feel bad for your brother having to deal with that.
But now that mom has got it in her head that Gerald is engaged to you, he is worried that that is going to make things very difficult with his own fiancée, and that is what he wants our help with. So we're going to wait for a day when mom is at home for all of us to meet and talk face to face.
Wow, this is all so much. You've been thinking about this a lot.
Well, this is going to be the talk where we can all finally decide how to get my mom out of our lives once and for all.
That's a pretty heavy task, but if you want help, just let me know what I can do.
Hello there, Emma. I assume the preparations for the wedding are continuing along nicely? And I imagine that you've already divorced Tony, yes?
I actually haven't done that at all, actually.
Excuse me? What are you doing? You need to get a divorce right now.
That's just not going to happen. In fact, Gerald said that it was a surprise for you that I wouldn't not be divorcing Tony, in fact.
A surprise for me? What is that supposed to mean?
I don't really know all the details, and can't say any more than this. I also have to go right now. Bye!
I see. Maybe Gerald is planning some kind of dramatic way to announce his marriage to you for everyone. Well, if he wants this to be a surprise, then I guess I won't ask any more questions either. Emma, where are you? Why haven't you arrived yet? You know you need to get here early for makeup and to fit into your dress. You're so late already. Emma, answer me right now. I have had just about enough of this nonsense, Emma.
Sorry, what are you talking about right now, Mimi?
I mean that you are supposed to marry Gerald so that you can take care of him. But now I've just been told that you've made a last-minute cancellation and you're not even going to be here? How could you just leave my poor boy at the altar like that?
I don't really know how else to say this, but Gerald and I were never going to get married. In fact, I'm on my honeymoon right now, actually.
What do you mean you're on your honeymoon?
I mean that Tony and I are on our honeymoon right now. And I suppose it's a good time as any to say that Tony and I got married in secret about 2 weeks ago.
But I don't get it. Gerald is here and he's still getting ready for the wedding.
Oh, I see. Well, either way, Tony and I have no intention of separating. And I was never going to marry Gerald either.
I won't let you get away with this. I mean, just who do you think is going to pay for all of this? You know that Gerald doesn't work. He can't afford something like this.
I don't know what is happening over there, and I don't want to. Please leave Tony and I out of it, okay? Now, goodbye.
Emma, you get back here right now and explain what's going on! is going on here? I am still so confused.
What are you talking about this time, Mimi?
I mean that Gerald. My poor sweet little Gerald.
What about Gerald? Did something happen?
Well, he had to cancel the wedding since his bride never showed up. So he told me that he would take care of the cleanup and just go home. But then after I left, apparently some totally random lady showed up. And Gerald married her.
So then the wedding wasn't canceled after all.
I guess not. But I don't even know who this person is.
I'd probably guess it's the woman that Gerald was dating and then engaged to.
What are you talking about? Gerald wasn't seeing anyone because he was supposed to be marrying you. I think I would know if my son was engaged to someone.
Are you really sure about that?
Of course I am. But this is all your fault. You're the one making this happen. You stabbed my son in the back, and now you've made him marry some stranger out of desperation. How do you sleep at night?
Mom, you've got to stop this. It's getting ridiculous.
Tony, what is this all about?
Did you really have no idea that Gerald was seeing this girl this whole time?
Why are you talking to me about your brother? If you're mad at him for trying to steal your wife, go talk to him about it.
Mom, he was never trying to do anything like that. You were the one that got in your head to try and set up Kenna with Gerald, but neither of them wanted that. Gerald tried to tell you that he was already engaged, but you only heard what you wanted to hear and thought that he meant to Emma. You always do this. You never listen to when other people try to say when you're wrong.
How can you say something like that to your own mother?
Because it's true. Speaking of, have you seen Gerald's room?
What about his room? Give me a moment. I don't get it. What is going on? The whole room is totally empty. There's nothing left.
Well, it was all Gerald's idea, really. Although he left you a note explaining things in your mailbox. I would read that very carefully so you can understand how Gerald and I really feel about all of this. Although it's way too late to change our minds now. This is my last goodbye, Mom. Have a nice life.
Wait, no, Tony! I still don't understand!
In the end, Gerald stopped talking to his mom without ever telling her what he really did for a living. Now he lives with his wife close to her parents. Tony and I have also moved recently as part of a job transfer. The new job was partially for better pay, but also because Tony didn't want his mom barging into the office and embarrassing him. She actually did do that, but it was too late and we were already gone. Also, Tony asked the receptionist at his office to tell her that we had quit. With no way to track us down, Mimi was left with no family to turn to, and lives out her days in her big empty house all by herself.
Hey, Sam. I put the papers you need to complete on your desk. What? Alan? The data you need is in the USB I put on your desk with the papers, so continue the work. It's on a big deal we're making with A Corporations. But I was going to go straight home after work today. Huh? I'm going to go straight home after I have a meeting with some of our clients. That's what's written on the schedule board of our department, right? Didn't you read it? What? Really? It said that on the schedule board? Besides, the papers regarding the deal we're making with A Corporations is your work, isn't it, Alan? Based on the date, you should already be halfway done with the project. Which means that I can't just pick up where you left off without any prior knowledge. Then don't go home and stay at the office. Huh?
As the son of the senior managing director, I'm giving you work to do. Which means that taking care of these papers is now your job.
Who you are doesn't matter when it comes to your job. Besides, you shouldn't be taking advantage of your connections like that in the first place.
Shut up and just do the work, will you?
Just because Alice, who you always used to push your work on, has been hospitalized because of an accident, and I'm the only person that entered this company at the same time as him, doesn't mean that you can just push your work on me like you did to him. Don't think you can take advantage of me, please. The meeting with our clients is about to begin, so excuse me.
Hey, Sam! Come back here!
Good afternoon, Sam. Sorry for having to leave work so suddenly because I was hospitalized.
Good evening, Alice. I heard that you were injured. Is it okay for you to be texting like this?
Yes, I was. But it's my feet that were injured and my hands are fine. So it isn't a problem if I'm texting like this.
I see.
If everything heals as it should, then I should be able to leave the hospital in 1 month.
I see. 1 month. I was thinking about visiting you in the hospital on my way home from work tomorrow. Is that alright with you?
Yes, I would be glad to see you. On the other hand, though...
What? Is there something wrong?
Is Alan doing anything to you?
What do you mean, doing anything to me?
You know, pushing all of his work on you and stuff?
Oh, so that's what you're talking about. He tried to push his work on a deal with A Corporations on me just yesterday. But it was right before a meeting with some clients of ours. I was planning on going home right after the meeting was over, so I just ignored him and left.
You what? I would have never been able to do that. Good for you, Sam.
Alan would always push his work on A Corporations on you, right, Alice?
What? You knew about that?
To be honest, I thought such complicated matters like the deal with A Corporations were beyond the capabilities of a man like Alan. But still, he seemed to be getting the work done day after day. Which must mean that he's using his connections as the son of the senior director manager to make someone else to do the work. And make it as if he's the one who did it. That's what I guessed. I then began to examine Alan's actions more carefully, which is when I noticed that you were the one he was taking advantage of, Alice. Is what I'm saying wrong?
No, it's exactly as you described it. Alan's the son of the senior director manager, right? As you know, I too got into this company partly thanks to a few connections of my own.
Oh, that's right. Your aunt was the head of the Osaka department of the company, right?
Yup.
So you're worried that if you rebel against Alan, it'll have bad effects on your aunt as well.
Yup, it's basically that. Alan is threatening something along those lines, too. I can't ask my aunt or the senior director manager about it as well, for fear as to what might happen.
I see. So he's taking advantage of the fact that his father outranks your aunt in this company.
It looks like I've already bothered you by being hospitalized like this. I truly am sorry.
I'm fine. I don't have any sort of connections in this company that I could use as a shield anyways.
Well, I guess so. But isn't that a weakness in and of itself? Well, it probably still means that I'll be causing you trouble until I can get back into the office.
Oh, I see. You can't see the report that was sent to the company chat today because you're currently hospitalized. Right, Alice?
What? Did something happen?
Oh, it's almost time for the lights in the hospital to be turned off, right?
Oh, you're right. I didn't notice.
I'll explain it to you in detail tomorrow when I visit you.
Alright, I got it.
Take care of yourself then. Good night.
Thanks. Good night. Thanks for coming to visit me today, Sam.
It was nothing. On the contrary, I'm sorry to have bothered you.
But still, I was so surprised. 1 more week, huh?
Sorry to have surprised you. This involves the interests of our clients as well, so I had to ask the department leader to keep quiet for as long as possible.
So that's what was happening.
Well then, I'll visit you again soon.
Got it, thanks.
Hey, Sam. Today for sure I'm going to make you take care of the papers involving the deal with A corporations.
You're pushing your work on me again?
I'm not pushing my work on you. You're involved in this deal with A corporations as well, right?
The work I'm in charge of involves a different deal with A corporations. Besides, someone else took my place yesterday, so I'm no longer in charge of it.
So that means you have less work to do and have all the time in the world.
No, I actually don't.
But these papers are due tomorrow. If you don't take care of these papers by tomorrow, then the company's going to receive a serious blow. You know? Take responsibility and do it all for me, will you?
If that's the case, I'll just do all the work I'm in charge of.
Huh?
I told you, the other project involving A corporations I was in charge of was taken on by someone else, right? I got questions from the person who was newly put in charge. So once I answer these questions, the work I have to do involving this matter will be done.
Sam, are you sure you want to say these things to me? My father is a senior director manager of this company. You know? You know what I'm trying to say, right?
I'm leaving this company today.
Yep, that's right. You don't want to have to leave this company after being fired, right?
Thanks for everything up until now. Excuse me then.
If you want to continue working in this company, then hurry up and do the work and submit it by tomorrow. I'm going to put a USB with the necessary information on your desk. All right? Hey, Sam! Hey! Why did you just... The papers I told you to take care of yesterday! When I came for work today, the papers were in the same state as they were yesterday when I left them on your desk.
Good morning, Alan. You're already at the office? You're quite early.
These papers were due today. What are you going to do about this? Come to the office right now and do your job.
Didn't I tell you yesterday that I was quitting the company?
Huh?
Even before that, wasn't there a message on the company chat saying that I would be quitting yesterday?
What? The company chat?
Don't tell me you didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
I see. Doesn't the company tell employees to check the company chat at least once a day?
Who cares about that right now? What are you going to do about these papers? There's no way I can finish these by the deadline.
It's no use asking me for advice. I no longer work at that company. Shouldn't you tell your superiors about the situation first and ask them what to do? The data you have to organize should already be partly complete since you made Alice do it, right? You'll just have to ask one of the other employees with the skills to complete it to do the job.
That's not going to work.
What?
If I save data from the cloud, from Alice's computer, then everyone will find out that I'm not the one who did it. Which is why we share data using USB sticks. But, as I was panicking earlier, I dropped one of the USB sticks and stepped on it. And now it's in pieces.
Oh. The fact that you're panicking over that must mean that you didn't save the latest version to the cloud or something. Am I right?
The version saved to the cloud was made 1 month ago. I was too lazy to update it. The newest version I saved to the USB stick.
The one you stepped on.
Shit.
What a mess you've made.
Do something about it, please. Didn't I tell you to take care of this yesterday? This means that it was your responsibility.
I already told you. I quit yesterday. So there's no use making me do the work anymore.
You're lying. You said you'd do what I said because you don't want to lose your job.
Why don't you go over the conversation we had yesterday one more time?
Why?
When I said I'm going to quit today, you seem to have misunderstood me, which means that the conversation we had after that was nonsense.
Huh? Seriously, Alice isn't here either, so what am I supposed to do about this?
I already told you. Tell your superiors about the situation and ask them what to do.
But if I do that, it'll look like I made a mistake.
But you did make a mistake, right?
Give me your email address.
What?
I'll give you the data I saved to the cloud 1 month ago. So take care of it before the deadline.
That's impossible.
You'll do it even if it's impossible.
No, I won't.
Did you forget that my father is a senior director manager of this company?
Do you still not understand that that threat has zero effect on me now that I don't work there anymore?
Huh? Oh, that's right. I know. I'll bring a laptop to Alice's hospital room and make her do the work.
If you attempt anything like that, I'll do everything I can to stop you.
What? Why would you do such a thing?
Because Alice is my girlfriend.
What? Your girlfriend? Since when?
We only started going out 3 days ago, but I'll protect her no matter what.
Wait, if you think about this carefully, that makes no sense. Going out with a man who quit his job and is currently unemployed? No way that's true. Even Alice isn't that dumb, I think. At least try to come up with a better lie if you're going to lie.
I'm not unemployed. I've already decided where I'm going to be working next.
I see. It's probably no company of importance.
It's A Corporations.
What?
Can I go now?
Wait, hold on. You changed jobs to A Corporations? Which means that everyone will find out about me, accidentally destroying the data that was supposed to be turned in today? Quit your job there right now. Come back to this company and make it as if you made a mistake.
I didn't intend on saying this, but the next CEO of A Corporations is a friend of mine.
Huh?
I changed jobs because my friend recognized my skill in making schedules. So he wants to make me his secretary when he becomes the CEO.
What?
You wouldn't listen to me, so I decided to tell you. Do you understand now that you've made a huge mistake and you won't be able to get out of it?
What? No way. This can't be true. No way. Seriously?
Goodbye. That being the case, the fact that the data that was supposed to be turned in that day was destroyed became known to everyone involved. As soon as everyone was about to give up, Alice saved the day by revealing that she had been saving the data to the cloud regularly. They were able to restart with the most recent data she had saved a week earlier. They were able to turn it in 2 days after the original deadline. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief, which is how Alan probably wanted the story to end. Unfortunately for him, though, his father was accused of being partly responsible for this incident. And as punishment, he was demoted from his position as senior director manager. Alan himself, of course, was fired. The relationship between the father and son ended there. And Alan, who had been living in his parents' house until then, was thrown out. He found a job at a factory that came with a housing in a nearby town. But one of his colleagues was injured because of him, and he was fired again. After that, there have been eyewitnesses saying that they saw him sleeping at a park. But where he is and what he's currently doing exactly is unknown.